So today we're looking at detecting nuclear radiations. What you see in front of you is quite simply a counter. Right, you may see the numbers increase as I'm talking. It's actually connected to this thing here, which is a Geiger-Müller tube. If anything radioactive comes in the front here, it then sends a signal down through the black wire you see connected, between the Geiger-Müller tube and the counter, and the numbers will actually increase every time it detects something radioactive. Okay, so at the moment we've had about 15 counts. What's being picked up by the detector just now is what they call background radiation, and we'll look at that in a bit more detail shortly. If I was to bring something that's a bit more radioactive, and we have some radioactive sources here, you can see the classic sort of 3-blade propeller type shape warning symbol for something that's radioactive. And if I open up the box and place the Geiger tube closer to some of these samples, you can see and hear that the count increases quite dramatically. These are just natural rocks that have been taken out of the ground. Those samples are actually quite old. We actually have some more modern samples here. Now, I'm going to leave them in their plastic bags, but again, just pay attention to the effect it has on the count. So these samples are slightly more radioactive than the ones we saw earlier in the wooden box. I mentioned the idea of background count earlier on, and if you're going to do any measurements to do with the radioactivity of particular sources, you have to take account of what the background radiation might be in the area you're doing your testing. So what I'm going to do now is to actually measure the background count in the science room here, over a period of a minute. So as we got to the minute there, we had 18 counts in that minute. Because the radioactivity is a completely random process, right, we really shouldn't just take one reading to give us an idea of the background. We should take over several readings. So as you see, we're coming around for the end of our second minute of measuring here. We've got a much higher background reading. Okay, as we get ticking closer and closer to that minute, we get a count rate of 31. As we come around towards the end of our third minute, we can see the reading on the counter is 20. So our fourth reading, gives us a count of 24. So our fifth and final reading gives us a reading of 27.